coach, let me just start with you. You go into this match, obviously playing at home now, and you go with an away goal advantage. Just your thoughts overall on the second leg match.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, yes, we play home. There's no difference. The difference is we just change the change rooms. That's all. That's the difference. Same stadium, same team, same pitch, same competition. Yeah, okay. We have a goal we scored away, but that goal only counts if you don't concede a goal. That's all. So if you concede a goal, it's cancelled already. In fact, you are out of the tournament. And the only thing you need to do is to score the goal. You know. So that's the only difference. But I think the more positive is that to praise PSL on managing to play the cup games on Wednesday. It's been long overdue. And once we play cup games midweek, we can't have a backlog of ABSA Premier League games. It will go like the English Premier League, it will go like La Liga, because the challenge on games in hand are the cup games. The only challenge that us and TS Galaxy and Vetsmark will have is that Champions League gets priority on weekends, the one weekend games, Friday, Saturday, and Confederation Cup takes I think a Sunday and a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, but they take a Sunday, so that's the only thing. So I think football is going now in the right direction here at home. So well done, Fatwan.
Thank you, Coach. Wayne, just your thoughts going into the match, thoughts about the match and obviously the opponent, SuperSport United.
Afternoon, everyone. Yeah, on the match itself against SuperSport on Wednesday, obviously we know what they're about, and they're a very good attack. They've scored in all of their games that they've played, and obviously that's where the strength is, the attacking force. So we know what we're up against, and obviously for us as Sundowns, we know what we need to do in order to overcome that. And the mood in the camp, it's good, and we're actually eager to be in a final, because our last final was back in 2016. So I think we just need to get back in that space, being in the final, and put it Sundowns again where it's supposed to be. So the guys are looking forward to it, and we can't wait for Wednesday.
Thank you, Wayne. Let's now take questions from the floor. Got a roving microphone. Just see a hand there, just can't see who. Oh, it's Koliso.
Coach Peter, over here. Towards the end of the season, last season you spoke about. You were speaking about how your team was not training anymore. You were just playing games. It seems to have started earlier this season. Will you have any time to train this week, since it's 3 games in 7 days?
I'll let Wayne answer that.
Now, obviously, our training is done in the media room. So we've been away, we've been traveling, and obviously we need to get the body back. So we haven't been on the field training, but like I said, all the training should be done in the media room. But the guys are ready, they're fit, they're good. So yeah.
Coach.
Yeah. that shows how difficult it is to run a season in Mamelodi Sundowns. Who cares that you don't train? I hear coaches asking for time to train, to fix the team. Where are we finding the time to train? So that's how difficult it is when we run a program that we are running. It's a difficult program where with big expectations for the team, with big expectations from our supporters and also from you guys. And it needs a lot of experience and it needs a lot of bravery in terms of getting the body back, in terms of not being on the pitch, which is a problem, and in terms of managing the squad, and also trying to manage the games, squad management and game management, and hence it affects the selection of the team and a lot of risk taking in there, because once you juggle according to the program wants you to juggle and change approach, change setup, change lineups, change training program. Something will backfire somewhere there, and you must make sure whatever backfires is not the most important part, crucial to your main objectives. And it needs a little bit of experience, and it needs a lot of teamwork and honesty from feedback from the players, how they feel, and also more experience, trusting what you're doing is right or wrong, because we wish we have been on a training pitch to play against SuperSport United, because, excuse me, we're in the semi-final here. But unfortunately, it's not the case.
Okay, let's move on to Karabo. Let's start with Karabo, and we'll go to Mini and then Tepa. We'll come back to you, Shaba and Tolage.
Good afternoon, Coach. You've played 9 games this season in all competitions, scored 20 goals, 2.2 goal ratio, and what is more impressive is that goals are coming from everywhere. It's not just the strikers, it's midfielders as well as defenders. What has attributed to that type of goal scoring ratio in terms of the whole team scoring goals? And secondly, how far is the injury in terms of the injuries that you have at the club? 2 weeks ago you said Alfonso, a couple of weeks, Parker as well. And any news as well? I know that the striker Tukelo has already signed. How far are we from seeing him in Sundowns colours?
Yeah, you have to be patient because your question is overloaded. So you got to be patient and remind me, because it's about 4 in 1 day. So I don't have to memorize everything. The first question is the goals. Okay, if you look at, I think SuperSport United is in a better position than us when it comes to domestic competitions. I think they've got about 6 goals in the league, and we have maybe 4, if I'm not mistaken. And that's what Wayne has alluded. They are on form, they're scoring goals, they find goals easier. I didn't see the game against Cape Town City, but I saw the highlights in the morning. There were 3 goals, and Cape Town City is not an easy team that can score 3 goals. We hardly scored 3 goals. Okay, we scored once we scored 3 goals against them. But you cannot easily score 3 goals against Cape Town City. And SuperSport United has showed that, has displayed that. So, yeah, if you talk on averages, we're saying those statistics, those numbers. Yeah, we do score. Okay, we scored 5 yesterday, we scored 4, 5-0, 4-0 last time. But domestic competitions, we're not scoring enough. But it's exactly what is the situation, game management and squad management. We we cannot be comparing our program to SuperSport United program. They don't have what we have. From the beginning of the preseason, they've been running a different program from us, and they are a well-rested team. They will always be stronger than us, and you can get goals when you have the body. So sometimes our game, we manage the game that is coming in 2 or 3 days, and that's why you see Tembazwane out, Serino out, Lebohang Mabuya out, all the attack is out, because we need them for the next game in 3 days' time. They don't have that. They play them full. So that's not a true reflection if we're scoring goals or not, because we have that thing. We pull them out, not because they don't play well. We pull them out because we need them for 3 days. So that affects, it's not a true reflection of number of goals. And obviously, with the current situation that we are facing of injuries, and I think this was a second question in there. Yeah, our attack, unfortunately, our attack is, I wouldn't say blunt, I would say, what can I say? We don't have enough ammunition in terms of numbers. You have Kelonzo, who's been scoring, is out. Pakamani hasn't played, he's been injured. Afonso, who's a 9, a typical 9, our only player who's a 9. He hasn't kicked the ball for us. Ali Menza was not registered because we never knew whether he's staying or going, because there was a Marisbeck issue or not. So you don't register a player, then he leaves, because especially for CAF, you have a problem, you lose a spot. So I've kept 4 places at the back in December. So I don't want to play with those spaces. You have Anthony Lafont, who hasn't kicked the ball this year. So when you have Ntabelo Morena, who's, I don't know where he plays that one. When we need him for attack, he's also not there. We used him against SuperSport United when we beat SuperSport 2-0. He was very, very influential in our attack. We used him as a 7, on the side, on the right, you know, and he was very handful against Bashera. And then later we used him in the same game against 9, as a 9, and he outran Clayton at the back there, and hence he gave Tembazwane the last goal for us to score, because he outrun everybody. So when you don't have those numbers I'm talking about, that's why I'm saying our attack is a little bit, we don't have enough numbers. It's not that we don't score enough. So probably, we'll see. We haven't trained, by the way. So I can't tell you who's available and who's not available. Tomorrow is a training session we have, the day before the game, but day -1, what are you going to do? Fitness, and what? How do you see if this guy can play 90 minutes? You need to play a little bit of a game to see, but we can't play a game. We need the body. Against SuperSport United, we need the body. So we've got to keep our resources. We've got to use experience, and we have done that when we beat them in the first game 2-0 in the league. They were sharper and quicker and gave us hard time. And even now, the game that you saw, we played, Wayne just alluded, they play different, a different team. They play to their strength. They play nearly like vets sometimes, you know. The ball from the goalkeeper doesn't waste time. There's no build-up play there. He just sends to Kabuza there, you know. And he flicks, and Grobla is in the area, and you know what Grobla does. And that's what we need to manage. And we need to manage throw-ins. Can you believe tomorrow we have to train against throw-ins? We have to be, yeah. The first goal of Cape Town City is a throw-in. Yes. You got to manage the throw-ins. They are very difficult. Even the second goal that Kabuza scored, or is the third goal that he turned a player, it's a throw-in. So we have to manage set pieces. Throw-ins is part of set pieces. There's corner kicks, there's free kicks. Any free kick on the edge of the box, even if it's on center line, as long as you're on the edges of the box, they overload They bring Bongani, Robla is there, is good aerially. Clayton comes up, Gabusa comes up. And you know, when you find in Sereno and Temples Run, we're in trouble with that ball. But yeah, we have to manage, we've got to do something. It's the way they play, it's their strength. But we've also have a strength that they need to manage, and we know they can manage some of the things that we do. So that's the way it is. And if I had those gladiators, I would also play like Caetano. Why not? Why do you want to pass the ball and interplay? Why? Put the thing there. It's the nearest way to get the goal. Put it in the box, fight for it. There's a goal coming, there's a throw in, there's a corner kick, there's a melee there, there's a mix up there. So these guys have to manage that. If you manage that, you should be home and dry.
All right, thank you, coach. Let's move on to Minenhle.
The Ranji question.
Oh, yeah, you didn't ask it.
I remember it.
Yeah, Tugero is available for selection. Why not? We have registered them. We have registered Ali Menza. His mind is clear. He had a very good pre-season. You know, so domestic, we have enough numbers. Yesterday, I had 14 players on the bench. 15 players for selection, including the goalkeeper. I think you saw the lineup. So we didn't have numbers because all these other 8 players who are registered for CAF are all out and injured. And Kekana had a red card that he's still serving a suspension. So probably it's a different team. We have Rivaldo available probably tomorrow. Is very, very important for our game against SuperSport United. If you can just check the first game when we played them, he's important in the midfield. He's probably available because we haven't seen him training for the last 4 or 5 days. You know where we have been. We hope Tabello is back. If you get Tabello and Rivaldo and you get at least one attacker, maybe in terms of Ali or Tokelo, somebody to come up on the bench, we cannot be having any excuse. And I guess we'll get those guys back on the pitch or on the lineup or on the squad for game against SuperSport United. So we are not complaining and we're not trying to say you must feel sorry for us. No, we have done this for the last 5-6 years and we have been successful.
Wayne for now. Wayne, you're coming up for third time against SuperSport this season already. Just in the sense, does this now become like more of a chess match? You guys understand each other very well. They know your strengths by now. You know their strengths. All the cards are on the table now. Does it become now the smarter one will be able to clinch this one?
Yeah, we've met each other twice already, and it's not about smarter one and who's but the chess game out. At the end of the day, is who wants it more and who wants to be in the final. So tactics aside and everything aside, is if you want it more than the other one, you'll get it. So I think it's about the attitude. You have the right attitude at the end of the day. You do your things right that you're supposed to do, you'll succeed. So I think it's all in the mind, because it's a knockout game. There's not another leg after this one. This is the final one. So if your mind is right and you do what you're supposed to do, and you manage their strengths and you do what you can do as a team, I think we will be okay.
Okay, Tsepang, your one question.
Are you gonna come back to me like later on? Because I have 2 questions.
Maybe.
Coach, I just wanted to ask about Nico Mobi out on loan to Stellenbosch. I think last time I spoken to you saying you had left it to him and his representative to get him a club. Just what do you make of his move there, and why couldn't he break into the team now?
Yeah, he found a home at Stellenbosch, which is good. and he'll play more games there than at Mamelodi Sundowns. And it's about playing, about finding the opportunity to play. We have Anele that plays right back. We have Tapero plays as a right back. In Seychelles, we played Matisha as a right back, and he provided a good combination play for us to get the first goal, and he played very well as a right back. So we have three. I mean, to bring four doesn't make sense, eh? And you're trying to avoid this issue of Sundowns not being able to play at Mamelodi Sundowns. But yeah, to play at Sundowns, everybody said Mamelodi won't play. Everybody says, oh, Kylian, you won't play. Everybody said Percy won't play. Madisha won't play. Zungu won't play. People can say what they want to say. Well, we don't have to make arguments on that. The proof is where are those players as we speak now. So you can't go overseas if you won't play. So I think I hope I've answered your question on Mobi.
Thank you, Coach. Let's go to Tolagele.
Coach, just a little bit on the mini question where you and Supersport will be facing each other for the third time this season. Looking at that first game and where you guys are now, how have both teams progressed in the week since?
Yeah, I would like to look at our games against Supersport United, not on the first game only, and also on the first game of the league. I think they've made a bigger progress than us in terms of they've found their way of playing. And if their way of playing is not good enough, why have they been scoring goals? And if their way of playing was not good enough, how did they win against the Vets? So, in terms of progression, they have found the progression. But what makes you to find progression and to find momentum is you don't mess around with the team a lot. You keep the team going and playing. And that's what they've been doing. They don't change the team a lot. It's either Mbule plays or Weber plays. Sometimes Weber comes in for young, what's his name? The boy from Free State, Mokwena. And that's it. The Fairman is forever there. I mean, he owns the team. He's forever there. And Clayton will always be there. Bongani sometimes comes in. The youngster also comes in. Sometimes Kekana, when he's not fit, always change with Bongani. They found Club on the right, stable. They don't change. They found Bashir on the left back. They don't change. The goalkeeper, they don't change. Horobla, they don't change. Gabuza, it stays the same. It's the way it is. But can you tell me about my team for the last 4 games comparatively to what I'm telling you? I mean, total 9 changes day before yesterday. So they have progressed because they are a well-rested team. They've progressed because they play the same team. And why not? I would do the same. Because what am I waiting for? I've got nothing else to play. There's no Congo, there's no Seychelles, there's nothing. So I would stay with the same team, and Caetano has done very well. And his team is a force to reckon with. It's a big threat. You've got to accept and praise and respect. I mean, a lot of teams are doing well. Look, I told you last time we went to Dr. Petros Malimela Stadium. I told you, I said, anybody who goes there is in trouble. And I think you know the scores of Eros. You saw the scores of the weekend. That place is a different place to go to. Be very careful of that place. That team is unbelievable. You know. And you know when you go to Cape Town, Benny is always a problem. So teams have found their rhythm and they're doing well.
All right, last round of questions. We'll start with Kumulimo. And we'll come to Mazola. Really okay?
Afternoon, Coach. Coach, when it was announced last week that Tukelo, was given by the club, a 3-year contract, just obviously it's a show of faith in the player, giving him good confidence to look forward. What is it that you are seeing in training, that you feel he'll add value, to the team? And can you touch on the announcement of the...
No, one question.
Right, one question.
One question.
Yeah, thank you.
You chose Tukelo and you asked about him here, so it's your life. Yeah. What can I say, Tukelo? What did I see what did I see on Tukelo? I have good memories of him being a powerhouse, him playing to the strength. He's not a Tambazwan, he's not a Sereno. I think you know who Tukelo is. He's not gonna give you the magic that you want, but he is powerful when he's fit and he's trained. His condition looks okay. So I have good memories of Tukelo playing for Bafana. I have good memories of Tukelo going to Seychelles, Cabo Verde, and scoring for Bafana. I have good memories of Tukelo's going to Nigeria and scoring 2 goals against the Super Eagles. I have those memories. Whether we're gonna get that or not, I don't know myself. It's been 2 years that the boy hasn't kicked the ball. But if Lerato Chabangu can get enough chances to be given a chance to play football, Zongo, you can just call them. These guys are playing football. Why can't we give Tukelo a chance to play? The guy is not old. He can still play. So we didn't bring him to win the league. We have won the league 2 times without him. We've gone to the semi-final of Champions League without him. It's just me to give a gesture, a helping hand to our South African boy to say he's gone through a lot and somebody must help him. So I think Mamelodi Sundowns can give him that opportunity. And let's not put pressure on him. What we see and he hasn't played football for 2 years. Give him a break, give him a space. He will come there. Just take off the boy from the streets and let him play football, what he likes and what he loves. So we have to also do our part.
Mazola.
One question.
Thank you.
Coach, I think Khumulemo was getting to this one. The appointment of, I don't know how to exactly pronounce his name, Jose Alexango. Is that how you say it? Just how closely will you be working with him, or is his role just for the academy and the scout team, or does it extend to the senior team?
Sundowns issued a statement of the role of Jose. It has nothing to do with me. It's a club. I'm a small part of the club, and I get the salary from the club. I must abide, and if I don't like, why am I at Sundowns? I'm a coach. I'm being paid at Sundowns to do duties, and the bigger part of the vision of the team is not made by me. It's made by the board and the president of the club, and we need to respect that. So, and Sundowns has issued a statement that he's head of technical for the academy and scouting, and I don't think there's anything wrong for me to learn from the guy who played for Barcelona. I've never even played for anybody in that space, and the guy who was also, I think, was a captain during his time, and the guy who was heading the program when Pep was a youth coach at Barca and worked with Johan Niskens. who's the predecessor of Barca?
Rijkaard.
Eh?
Frank Rijkaard.
No. Yeah, okay. The legend. Eh? Johan Cruyff. So you worked with Johan Cruyff, and those are the guys who we can talk about the La Masia programs, that he was part of that and probably was heading that. I'm not really deep into it. But for me, is you cannot be from Barcelona and you don't know nothing. So our youth is gonna learn, and our youth is going to improve. I think so. I believe so. He's an import. He must make a difference. Of course, he's under pressure to show us what's the tiki-taka, or what do you call it, something like that. Yeah. So, and why can't I lean against this guy and ask him? Also, whisper a little bit for me. How can I play the way Barcelona plays? Because sometimes I play 4-3-3. Sometimes I use 4-4-2 on my 4-4-3 is nearly the way Barca, the setup is, and okay, for mine is a little bit more like Klopp when I play 4-3-3, not like Barca, or not like Pep in Man City, because I don't think I have the players who are very, very good like that on 1v1 situations, and top strikers of Aguero and them that scores every game. So it's always good to see Barca how they play. And we coaches, we envy, and we say, oh, I want to play like Barca. Okay, do you have the players to play like Barca? I want to play like Man City. Okay, do you have the players? You know? So it's good to have experience, brains, and whatever he brings to the team, and is welcome. And when I don't have these three games in 7 days, I'll try and spend time with him. But if the program the way it is, I will lose my job also if I spend time there. So it's the way it is. So yeah, why not? Good acquisition for the club, good name, good brand. And I think you also will be excited to say, okay, let's see the difference in Sundowns youth teams. Have you seen the difference? That's his job. So that's why he's here. That's why he's an import. So we'll see.
Last question, Velile.
Thank you, Coach. This one question thing is a challenge. Yeah, but maybe just first a comment. It's interesting that we've seen more effective Sundowns youth systems under the locals than the time when there was Johan Cruyff Foundation. But just on, you spoke about finding it difficult to accommodate the training sessions and all those things. And I saw something that you did in the last season, or even the past 2 seasons you did this past weekend again, taking a large number of squad to your CAF matches, even those who are not a part of the program in the CAF. Do you find the program of the CAF Champions League to be giving you enough time in terms of doing more locally in the first 6 months of the season, because you're left with the next game, and then you will only start the CAF Champions League group stages in December, end of November, December. So do you find this first 6 months to be giving enough space to push locally?
Yeah, well, it's good to be associated with journalists like you, because you're just showing that you understand the football program, the continent, not only at home. Yeah, we last time we took Semisiari with us to Congo, so that he must know that the amount of hours we travel. You must know the amount of hours we have during transit, the kind of pitches that we train at, the kind of things we get there. So he needs to know and learn. And that's what I did the same thing with Lebogang Mabuye last time, so that he can know and learn and understand what's happening. We took a young college Pitso. Also we took him last year, so that he knows and understands. So that this year when they play, they know they play. We took a young Harold, who's been playing at Ajax. He was playing in the MTC. We just registered. We took him along with also. So we tried to do a program for this year to the next year. You cannot be in that space and then you are looking at the match that is here. You need. It's a different program. You need to plan. You need to foresee. You need to prepare for next year. In that space. So we took the guys to understand, to learn what's happening. And we took Ali Menza and Oben Goma and this young boy, Harold Jadi Baldwin. We took them for training purposes also, because they're eligible to play against SuperSport United. So we took them for training purposes, and I can also assess them how far they are during 2 days sessions we had there. So hence I took them, but also for them to know what's happening in the Champions League in December in case we register them. So it's for training purposes, for men to judge their levels if they are ready for SuperSport United. It's for them to know what's happening next year in this tournament, and also a little bit of a motivation for Harold to come and join us in Champions League, because the boy played 28 games for Ajax Cape Town last year in the first division, and the boy struggled to find the team. How can you play 28 games in the first division and then you don't find a team, at least in the Premier League? So we absorb them. It's the same with Kelenso. Remember, we wanted them to stay at Marisbeck, but Marisbeck felt it's not good enough to score goals. We played them in the big game against Bloemfontein Celtic in the MTN8. He gave us a penalty. He gave us a goal. So who's losing out now? You know what I'm trying to say? So we need also to manage our players who are coming out from the youth. We need to give them a chance, and we have registered a goalkeeper. What's his name? Abraham. That's fourth goalkeeper. So we've registered Nico also. He's a right back. He's like a tapero. He's been overlapping there. He's doing very well. But you haven't seen him in MDC because we had him in our ABC Mutsepe team. So it's not easy for me to manage all these things, but I've got the team around me to help me to do these things, and it's a big program. It's difficult to be a coach at Mamelodi Sundowns. The expectations, and it's a very, very ambitious club. It's not what you play tomorrow. It's future, and you need to understand the program. That's why sometimes European coaches struggle here. It's not because they're not good. They don't know. They don't understand what's happening. You know, so that's the challenge sometimes with European coaches. It's not that they're not good. The PSL is a very, very complex league, and it's a very good league that anybody can lose. You win today, but you're not sure whether you win next week. You know, it took a little bit of Pirates to get a win. They fought for it. You know, it shows that also we are in a good space as a team. Not in a perfect space, but we are in a good space. We are okay with the top 8. We can't complain. We're in the forefront. Going into this game is in our hands. The Champions League, we are okay. It's in our hands, the first league. to go into the group. The PSL could be better. It's not in our hands. It's in Kaizer Chiefs' hands. It's in Polokwane City's hands. It's in Faith's hands at this point in time. It's not in our hands until we are in that position. So in PSL, we need to do a little bit better. But it's a very difficult league of 26 games to play. I mean, 26 is a long way. So we'll see how it goes as time goes.